Happy Tuesday, everybody. So today, Tuesday, I've just come back from the office and I just thought, oh my God, I need to talk about this, the experience that I had today. It wasn't a bad experience, mind you, it was really good. So usually when I'm going to the office, I take my own like lunch. I take my own food so that I can have lunch because it's kind of expensive. Over if you go 2 days a week, and end up spending something like £5 a day, and that's £10. Yeah, £10 a week, and over 4 weeks, it adds up. So I had decided that now that we do 2 days a week, I'm just going to bring my own food. But because today, for some reason, yesterday, I didn't, I don't know whether I was busy at work or it was just nice weather and I wanted to sit out into the garden or whatever. I didn't get a chance to go to the shops and get some ingredients to make my lunch. So I went without any food. So during my lunch break, I was walking down to there's a chip shop and a sandwich shop, or lots of places that you can buy food from. So I was going out of the building, and then I see this there was like on the side, not on the side of the road, just on top of somebody's wall, something that said free, please take. And I'm looking around and I'm like, why these are really good fruit, vegetables and everything, why are they all free? So I went to look because I was very suspicious, to say they look very good. Why is he putting like a free for anybody to take? People do that like with furniture and stuff anyway. So anyway, the guy then came out because he had just gone to like the house, and he was delivering something. So he came out and he says, yeah, if you wanted, I've got some more in the car. So I turned around. I actually hadn't seen the van that was parked there. So there was a van and also like a trailer. So he had a van and a trailer full of food, not just food, not like they were all vegetables, mind you, vegetables and fruits. So the van was full of those. And I was like, oh my God, where did you get them? So what he does is he works at a food bank. So while he doesn't work at a food bank, he's like a person who is a community something organizer of some sort for, and every Tuesday at the food bank they give food to, I think everybody knows that food banks are specifically there for people. I think usually the council, if you're on some sort of benefits, you get like a letter or something that you get from the council to give you access to get food from a food bank, because I don't think you can just walk out of the street and walk into a food bank and say, oh, can I have some food? I don't think it works that way. But anyway, so because it's been summer and the schools were closed, apparently it's been summer and a lot of people are not coming out to get the food. There's lots more food left over. So this is food, really good food, that is donated by the big shops, Tesco, Asda, Aldi, Morrison's, and really good food, and it's all in packaging. So it's not like things that somebody threw away into like a container and stuff like that. Still in good packaging, so nothing unhealthy, nothing that you wouldn't get, so to speak, and very good. So I'm like, are you sure? So he's like, yeah, it's all for free, because what he does is, once if they've got like a leftover after the time, because they probably open the food bank, let's say from 10 till 12 or something like that. And during that time, if people have not had a chance, nobody's come to collect the food, he takes it all away and he gives it to the community, so he knows which sort of people, which people, not which sort of people, but he knows certain people who will appreciate him coming and giving them the food. So obviously you're not really just going to knock at a door and say, oh, here you go, there's some food. No. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I will. And he gave me 3 plastic bags, 3 like paper bags. And I started putting, so at that point I was like, because it was mostly vegetables and fruit, I didn't really want any fruit because the fruit would end up going bad if I take too much. So I didn't really want any fruit. So, and then I thought, okay, tomatoes, I could not afford, I really cannot afford to buy like fresh whole tomatoes from like a shop. I don't buy tomatoes. I usually buy them from a can, like canned tomatoes and stuff like that. That's how, or from the glass ones, the sauces that you get, like the pasta sauce and stuff like that. That's what I usually buy because tomatoes themselves are kind of pretty expensive and they don't last as long, and they don't keep as well. So I was like, okay. So I took so many, like 1 full plastic bag full of tomatoes. There were a lot of tomatoes and they were in plastic. So they were still very firm and they were all in individual plastic bags. So like each plastic bag had probably like maybe 8 in each. So I'm like putting all these plastic bags in my in the bag that the man had given me. And then I got some onion. So there was some onion which were like some shallots, yeah, some shallots. So I'm putting all of them in because with the shallots themselves, I knew that the top part, the green part, I was going to use it as for food, and then the bottom part I was going to plant because I had started like a vegetable patch. So I was going to plant them. So, and there were so many, and I'm like, and they were so fresh and they looked so nice. So there's me just putting all these onions. And this man is probably thinking, how many onions does a person need? But you probably didn't see my vision, because my vision was I go home, I chop everything up, I put them into small little freezer bags. And then when I'm ready, because they are small little freezer bags, when you're ready, you just take whatever freezer bag, because the freezer bag is already got all the ingredients to make the sauce. So that's what my vision was. So I got some onion, some peppers, there were lots of different things that I managed to take just to make the sauce. And then something spicy. I think there was some very spicy peppers as well in there. Everything that you would get from Tesco, like in the little packs, or Asda or whatever in the little packs, is what was there. So it was almost like me being in Tesco and shopping, and except I wasn't paying anything. So I'm just buying and buying, not buying, but taking the things and putting them in bags. So he gave me 3 bags, and then another person came along and wanted to get some, and so it just got a little bit crowded. And then I thought, I've already got like 2 bags. But then I saw the cabbages. So he had this big cabbage. I've never seen cabbages that big, because usually when you go to a shop, they've got like tiny little cabbages. These were massive cabbages, and they were fresh, like literally fresh. And I'm like, I want that cabbage. And I wasn't going to put a cabbage in the freezer anyway, but it was just because it looked so fresh. So I took just 1 cabbage. There were lots of things, but I was only taking things that I knew that I'm going to use. And I don't want to, there's other people out there, because he was going to go and deliver them to other neighborhoods or other houses anyway. So I took all those things, and he had fruit. He had loads of fruit. He and bread. I didn't need bread. He literally had everything. He had the whole shop with just food, obviously, not like any other household goods. So yeah, I just took everything that I needed, and I did not take fruit. The only fruit I took were guavas. It was so strange. I had not seen a guava in a shop. I don't know what shop produced those guavas, but they were there, and I took them, and I was like, I didn't take many, I just took three because I didn't know, because sometimes things like that will be firm on the outside and then not be good inside. So I just took, that's the only fruit I took, but everything else was all just vegetables. Got home and then started chopping them all up, and obviously, like I said, the parts of the onion were being, the bottom part of the onion was all gonna go into the vegetable patch, and the top part was all in my vegetable, my freezer bag. So yeah, that was so exciting, and I was really grateful for him, grateful that I saw him to start off with, number one, and also grateful that he was giving away the food for free, and also grateful that he was driving, it's his own car, and he goes out to the community to actually give away these things. And there are people out there who do good things, and we don't realize that there are people out there who are constantly striving to do good by just doing good. And I don't think he gets paid any extra, but I wouldn't think he gets, who would pay him anyway, for, because he said, oh, I know which houses to go to, and then when I go to a certain house, she just calls the neighbors, and the neighbors come out, and everybody just starts picking what they need. And because apparently, because the weather is so good, people are not coming out as much to go to these food banks. So that's the reason why they have so much extra food. But usually they don't have that much extra food. It's probably just